Hello. It's been some time, hasn't it? But I'm finally back with some new viewers. Hello, everyone. You know who you are. Welcome back to Film Review Friday on a Tuesday, which I know is a bit odd, but hey ho. What can you do, huh? You know, I haven't uploaded a video in God knows how long, so I figured, yeah, might as well. You know what? People have been asking for it, so here we go. Here's a film review on a Tuesday. What film we're going to be reviewing though? That is the question. I have had a think about it. I did want to review Obsession, but I know there is a few people that haven't seen it yet, so I won't be reviewing that just yet. I will wait till people have fully seen it and then I will review it. Today we're going to be reviewing a sports film that some of you might have heard, and it's a little known film called Creed. Creed, if no one has seen it, essentially it's a sequel, a long-awaited sequel to the Rocky films, which are boxing movies that star Rocky Balboa as an up-and-coming fighter who goes and works his way through the ranks to become one of the best boxers of all time. Creed follows a character called Apollo Creed, who is the son of Adonis Creed, who was one of Rocky's friends who dies in one of the later Rocky films. He gets hit quite nasty in the face by a Russian boxer called Victor Drago, who ends up essentially killing him. And Creed follows the story of a now adult Apollo Creed working his way up through the ranks, similar to the way Rocky did in his film. Rocky essentially trains Creed up to be a world-class boxer, and essentially it gets down to a fight where Apollo has to essentially win a fight against Pretty Ricky Conlan, I believe is the guy's name, who is like a very professional fighter but has had a lot of trouble in the past with like violence and stuff, gun smuggling and all of that. So yeah, essentially that's the main plot of Creed for you. Creed itself is a very, very good film. It's a very good underdog film of no one ever fully expects Creed to essentially win any of these fights. They all think that because of where he's come from, he's been in prison a lot, he only really is in the boxing game because of his dad's name. And there is a good portion of the film that he actually doesn't want to be identified as a Creed. He wants to be identified as someone else. I can't remember the mantra of the name he uses, but he essentially doesn't want to be called Creed because he doesn't want to go off of his dad's legacy. He wants to just sort of make his own way up through the boxing ranks, but it eventually gets leaked to the press that he is Adonis Creed's son. So he then eventually takes on the mantra of Creed, but throughout the majority of the film, 95% of the general public believe that Creed is only in this position because he's his son. And that's really what the main story follows around. It's about him trying to make his way up through the boxing ranks while also doing it on his own back. He doesn't want to be a really good boxer for the sake of just being someone else's son. Michael B. Jordan, who plays Creed in the film, is really, really good. He's really good in this role. He understands the assignment of what the character is. He understands that a lot of people who grew up with Rocky are looking for a film that is not only paying homage to Rocky but also does its own thing in a right, and I feel like Creed does that really well, where it still pays homage to Rocky by having Rocky Balboa in there as Creed's trainer, but also doesn't focus too much on the past. It actually sets the scene for Rocky was one series of films. We've now got a new series of films that we're beginning with Creed, and it really tries to make it so Creed is his own character. He's not just a follow-up character to the original Rocky films. It surprises me how many people don't actually know that Creed is a follow-up to Rocky, because I've spoken to a few people that they have seen Creed, they've watched Creed, but they've never actually seen the original Rocky films, which baffles me a lot, because Rocky to me is one of those films that is iconic. It's one of those iconic films, especially for sports films. I would say it's arguably the most iconic sports film of all time. If you think about sports films and what ones there are, you've got ones like Space Jam, which is all about basketball, Happy Gilmore, golf, King Richard, tennis, but Rocky to me is probably the most famous sports film there is or ever will be, purely because of how iconic a character Rocky Balboa is. But Creed, if I could sum it up really, I'd just say the acting in it is really good. The story in it is really, really well done. It feels really original considering it's a sequel to the original Rocky films. And I know there's going to be some people out there that will also sit there and say that they don't really like it. It blasphemizes the original Rocky films. But I think the directors of the film, the creators of the film, the actors of the film all understood this assignment when they were going in to make this film. And they really handled it with care to the best of their ability to make Creed feel like a successor to Rocky while also remaining as its own film. On to the ratings then, because I don't want to make it too long a review. I want to keep it nice, short and concise. We're going to give Creed a solid 8 out of 10, I think. Creed is, like I say, it does what it needs to do. It gets the job done. It remains faithful to the original series of films it came from, whilst also being a new story that you can get invested in. And that shows with the 2 sequels, which, who knows, I might review at some point or other. But the original Creed, like I say, it's a classic in its own right now at this point. It's a good film to have on. If you're looking for something to watch that's easy to watch, easy to get invested in, easy to enjoy, you're going to like Creed. Especially if you're into boxing and especially if you like Rocky. That is going to be it though for today, people. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be making videos again. Like I say, I will try to do these as frequently as I can. But yeah, up until that point, it has been your boy Connor. This has been Film Review Friday. See ya in the next one. Bye bye.